guys, welcome back to another live stream. Today is just a full day of live streams apparently. It's a complete accident that this was a full live stream event day, but here we are. Hopefully the audio and video is good. Let me see here. We're about to kick off the drive here momentarily. Now, because I'll be driving, I'm not going to be able to see the chat. So, I'm going to review the chat later, but I encourage you guys to kind of just chat amongst yourselves in the live stream here. And if you're just tuning in, welcome. My name is Barry. I'm live streaming full self-driving, Tesla's full self-driving. I do wish I had the opportunity to kind of see what was going on, but I think that's going to be a little bit difficult with this type of setup. Let me just make sure things are set up correctly here. It looks like everything is okay. If anybody can give me a thumbs up in the chat, that would be awesome, just for the audio. That would be great. If you can just give me a audio sounds good message, that would be excellent. And we're about to go off for the drive here in just a minute or two. We're just getting everything prepared and ready. And what I can also probably do is I can pull up the YouTube app on my Tesla to see how the audio sounds. So here we go. Cool. That's awesome. You might be hearing double for a second. Cool. Awesome. So I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to put my driver seat profile back to where it was, and we're going to go about our way. So appreciate you guys tuning in. It's going to be a full self-driving live stream. I love that feature, by the way. You don't have to toggle, you don't have to change gears. It's all automatic. So when you pull out of a parking lot, or a parking spot rather, all you got to do is just tap the brake, and the car knows that you're about to go and drive, so it does it automatically. You don't have to switch gears. It's one of my most favorite features, honestly. Most favorite? I don't think that made sense, but I'm going to engage FSD here in just a minute, probably at this light, so I can probably go ahead and have FSD take us along the way here. So again, hopefully everything sounds good. This is going to be sort of my, technically my second attempt at a full self-drive live stream. So I hope, it looks okay and it sounds all right. This is pretty much, a complete experiment. I'm going to move my little microphone here on the seat belt, so bear with me for just a second. Hopefully that still sounds fine. We're going to be going over to New Albany here in the Columbus area just to take a cruise. Showing 71 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and it is currently 6:22 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're tuning in from around the world, welcome to the stream. This is a Tesla Model 3 rear wheel drive standard range, the Highland edition, if you will. We're going to be cruising in standard mode with a 15% offset. I've really been favoring standard mode a lot. I used to really drive with hurry the majority of the time, in hurry mode, that is, but my subscribers on my YouTube channel had convinced me otherwise. Standard is a good blend between chill and hurry, and it kind of brings both worlds into a good middle ground. And so I've kind of been favoring standard. If you just saw that, the vehicle that was oncoming there for a second was steering off into the middle of the road a little bit. And I don't know if it picked it up on camera, but FSD did a really nice job at moving the steering wheel just slightly to the right to create that clearance. And it's certainly not the first time I've seen this happen. It does that consistently, and it's a very safe reaction. It's a very safe mechanism. It happens especially common with trucks on the highway due to wind or other dynamic elements. You know, those semi trucks tend to sway out on the highway, and I've seen FSD over and over again react very nicely to it and create space and then get back into its lane once it passes the truck. Now, if the truck is not swaying, there's no reason for FSD to create any clearance. It just maintains the proper distance. So I do have the avoid highway setting enabled, and that is a feature update that was released back in April of 2024 as part of the spring update. And I use it quite consistently. I use it quite consistently because I'm an FSD content creator, and so for me it makes more sense to avoid highways because FSD is pretty smooth on highways. It's very consistent, it's very reliable on highways, so it makes for more interesting content as a content creator for full self-driving videos out on city streets and back roads, etc., which is why I'm avoiding highways. If you haven't subscribed and you're streaming, I would highly encourage you to hit the subscribe button down below. It would really help me out, and I'm asking you for your support as well. If you haven't subscribed and you enjoy this type of content, I am just shy of hitting 5,000 subscribers. Last I checked, I was 30-something subscribers away from hitting that big milestone of 5,000. So that is a huge milestone for me, and I'd really appreciate it if you do hit the subscribe button down below. It helps me out a lot. You guys have all been very, very supportive and encouraging, so much so that you allowed me to hit my goal of 5,000 well before the end of the year. I was on track to hit 5,000 by December, and we're not even in September yet, and I might hit that. So I just want to say thank you for everybody that has subscribed. And I hope the stream is okay. I'm going to take a quick look as we approach this red light here. Make sure that we're still online. Yep, we are. Perfect. I hope you guys are enjoying this. And again, I can't see the chat right now, so please feel free to sort of chat amongst yourselves. And, I'll review the chat, of course, after the live stream is done. And if you have any questions, I'll review it and try and reply back. Hit the like button on this stream too, guys, if you don't mind. It helps bring this content to wider audiences. So if you're enjoying this stream, go ahead and hit that like button down below. It brings this content to more and more people. And I know I have people all over the world watching my videos. So if you hit that like button, it's going to enable more and more people from around the world to tune in. And speaking of global, Australia is going to be receiving their full self-driving packages very soon, from what I had read and whispers in the community. Could even potentially be as soon as tomorrow. I saw a couple of content creators already receive the FSD package and capabilities for their vehicles. So I think the rumors are true for you Australians. So if you're watching from Australia or anywhere around the world, drop a comment letting me know where you're watching from, if you don't mind. It'd be cool to see where everybody's tuning in from. If you're in the States, if you're in the United States, just let me know what state you're watching from. And if you're abroad, let me know what country you're watching from. Earlier today, we had a really severe weather pattern coming into central Ohio. Looks like it's still circulating, as you can see here. Weather is okay. I think it's actually quite north of me right now. North and a couple of bands north and certainly a couple of bands west of me right now. I love this weather radar that we got with the spring update as well. So the spring update back in 2020, well, no, it was this year, right? Yeah, I think it was this year, April. So maybe 6, 7 months ago or so. Not even. Had a ton of updates, a lot of goodies in the spring update. And again, if you're just tuning in to the live stream, my name is Barry. I focus on Tesla's full self-driving content and software. So thanks for stopping by. We're heading to a suburb of Columbus by the name of New Albany. And then from there, we'll reroute to somewhere else. Not sure exactly where, but we're just kind of cruising, enjoying the clear weather. In fact, I can probably kill my air conditioning because it's nice weather. So you can see, I hope it's translating into the video in terms of how reliable, how safe, and how cool this technology is for Tesla FSD, you know. I mean, I can do this for hours and hours and hours, and very rarely do I have to disengage nowadays. If I have to disengage, really it's because of bad routing. The critical disengagements and the safety disengagements have dropped a ton. So because I have a 15%, let me just validate that real quick. I believe it's, yeah, so my 15% offset is equating to a 40 max here. And what that means for anybody that doesn't know is that you can allocate how much above or below the speed limit you are okay with full self-driving going. So in this case, I'm okay with it going 15% over, just to keep up with the flow of traffic. So in this case, 35 mile per hour zone, I'm going top end of 40, though it dropped now. So it's just keeping up with the flow of traffic is all that's doing. And if the rumors are true in the community, then in a couple of days, once we hit September, sometime in September, not sure exactly when, but there are suggestions of full self-driving version 14, which is going to be amazing. Let me just check on the stream here now that we're at a red light. Cool, it looks like we're still online, which is excellent. I want to figure out a way to sort of stream, or not stream, but have a view, a live view of the stream on an external monitor or something like that. I brought my laptop, but the thing is I can't use my phone as a hotspot while streaming because it would take up too much bandwidth, which would cause disruption for you guys. So I might have to look into getting a separate hotspot for my laptop so that I can at least monitor the live stream to ensure that we're still good. And hopefully the audio sounds good. I connected my DJI mic too. Making a quick lane change here over to the right. And I was just looking recently, earlier today, at the mileage. I just put on maybe a little over 6,000 miles on this car. So not a lot of miles at all. The majority of that was probably full self-driving. It would be cool if the vehicle collected that data and showed you like your overall mileage, but then the mileage driven with full self-driving. Maybe that exists. Maybe I just don't know about it. If anybody knows, let me know down in the comments below. Not like that's super critical or important for the user experience or for their customer base, but it would just be more of a kind of a cool data point for the customer and me in this case to know, like, out of 6,000 miles driven, uh, you know, 5,500 or 5,000 of those were FSD. If you're just tuning in to the live stream, go ahead and hit that like button for me on the live stream. It really helps me out, and it brings this content to more and more people. As I have a global audience, it really helps to expand that reach. So if you're tuning in, or if you're just hanging out with me tonight, go ahead and hit that like button. It really does help out the stream. This is a beautiful stretch right here. If you look over to the left side, you could see a big, huge body of water, which is very, very nice and beautiful. And a bunch of sailboats out tonight here on the left. Not sure if the camera's picking that up. But this is a beautiful bridge. Got some fishermen here on the left side as well, on a john boat. So I'm going to allocate a little bit more speed. Well, actually, it's going 43 now in a 35. That's interesting. What's my top speed? Let me see here. Oh, wow. My max is 55. So, okay. Something's not making sense here. That means that the actual speed limit is not correctly displayed here. Because if my top end speed or my max offset speed is 55 miles per hour, that means that this should be a, whatever that math is, 15% of 50, 55 in this case, should be closer to like 45, right? But it's showing a 35, because you can see if I show you again, see that max right there? It's now I moved it to 56, but it's sitting at 55, so it should not. We shouldn't be going 55 into 35. That's way above 15%. So to me, it kind of means that we are not displaying the right speed limit zone, which is quite interesting to me, honestly. Very rarely does that happen. All right, we got a couple vehicles here parked on the left side, so you saw that. I don't know if it picked it up, but again, that truck was kind of in the middle of the lane or the road because they had traffic that was parked on the side. I don't know if it was an accident or what, but there were vehicles just kind of in the standby, taking up some space, and FSD just cleared itself. Very nice. All right, so roundabouts have been awesome for me, by the way. I've got a couple comments asking about roundabouts and how this does. You can see, I mean, it is just flawless. It just drives through these like, no other. I think roundabouts actually have always been consistent for me. Even on, that's one thing that's been like super uh, flawless is roundabouts. Even on versions 12, it was still good. Obviously with 13 and 13.2.9, I mean it's phenomenal. But I believe roundabouts is one of those things that were just always consistently successful. Is how I would phrase it. And there are a lot of roundabouts here in the Central Ohio area. A lot. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys, if you're just tuning in. It does help me out. We have another roundabout. And you can see now we have a little bit more traffic. I hope that's picking it up here. You have vehicles coming up on the left. FSD is doing a super nice job, as usual, waiting for its turn, and it goes through. It's really good at negotiating with other drivers now. But I will say, and this came up on my last video when I was talking about 0 mph stops, is that like we are mixing autonomous vehicles with human drivers, right? So you have robot drivers and then you have human drivers mixed into one space or one environment, right? So I'm sharing the road with other human drivers. And so what I've noticed is that, wow, look at that car. He just passed 2 cars at once. That's what I'm talking about. You know, that's the human. That's exactly my point, actually. What I was getting at is like humans have emotions, right? And they're in a rush. They are hungry. They have to go to the bathroom. They are late to a doctor appointment, late to work. So that you have all those factors, right? FSD doesn't have appointments. FSD doesn't have feelings, emotions, thoughts, right? It's just programmed to do exactly what it needs to do. And so there's situations where, like, you know, you interact with other humans while FSD is engaged, and you can tell that either the human in front or behind or to the side of me is getting impatient because of how FSD is approaching a certain situation, right? Like, for example, a 0 mph stop. Absolutely, it's the right thing to do, right? And you should absolutely stop at every stop sign for 0 miles. You know, you should register that 0 mph. But not everybody does that, and so that creates a bit of friction. Now, it doesn't bother me, and it shouldn't bother anybody, right? People are impatient, and there are bad drivers on the road. But nonetheless, it is a very interesting thought of mixing autonomy with human emotions. So you saw it negotiated that 4-way stop there flawlessly. I mean, that's part of the negotiation that I was talking about. Like, you know, that it's most prominent on 4-way stop signs, where it stops, and then, you know, you kind of have to negotiate with other drivers. We got another Tesla coming up here. No, never mind. Is it a Tesla? No, disregard. Similar style headlights, but not a Tesla. If you're enjoying the stream, hit the like button. Another friendly reminder. It helps my channel, and it helps to bring this content to more people all around the world. And I think I might be hitting 5,000 subscribers very soon, guys. And I just want to, again, say thank you, and I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in, for commenting and listening to me just talk about nonsense. I don't know why anybody would want to listen to me talk about nonsense, but hey, you guys have been very encouraging. So you can see now we're going 51 and a 45. I'm curious what the max, yeah, so now it makes sense, right? 52, 53 max in a 45. That, to me, in my head, equates to about 15%. So I don't know what was going on back there where it was showing 35 and a max offset speed of 55. It was something wonky. Didn't make any sense. And by the way, I can't leave the house anywhere without seeing at least like 5 Model Ys. They're everywhere. I started playing a game with myself, and I encourage you to do that in your area as well, is when you are out on the road, see if you could spot at least 1 Model Y. Chances are you probably will. They are absolutely everywhere. Not necessarily the junipers. I haven't seen actually too many of them here in my area. I've seen a good bit, but not a tremendous amount. Let me make sure the stream is okay for you guys. Yep, looks good. Also, I've been getting a lot of comments on my last video, maybe my last couple videos, and people were asking me why I don't have to nudge on the wheel. And it kind of got me thinking that not everybody understands that concept, right? And so it's important for me to kind of communicate that as to why I don't have to nudge on this steering wheel. I can go 5, 6, 7 hours non-stop with full self-driving if I want without having to touch the wheel at all. And the reason behind that is because with models starting in, I think it was 2021 or 2022, Tesla began manufacturing onboard camera systems right here. So right behind the rear view mirror, you'll see a camera on most models after 2021 and 2022. So what that camera does is it actually monitors your eyes and your hands. And so if your hands are free from any devices and your face is facing forward and your eyes are open and you have no obstruction, you pass the compliance. And you don't have to do anything, as I'm doing right now. I'm just sitting back and letting FSD drive, right? So I've been getting a lot of those comments, and I just want to address that. So it's for newer-ish vehicles, right? Starting in 2021, I think, or 2022, sometime in that era, you'll have that camera. So you don't have to touch the wheel, which makes things phenomenal, right? It makes things amazing. Because I can go on really extended road trips and just kick back and relax. Now, one thing that I'm not sure if many people know, but these cameras that monitor you, I think I just mentioned it, it monitors your hands as well, not just your eyes. And what I mean is that if you, I got flagged once for holding a cup of coffee. So I was using FSD and I had a cup of coffee just like this. And it registered an error message, something along the lines of, you know, driver has something in their hand or something. And it quite literally flagged me. So I had to put the coffee down, and then it was happy. So it is something to keep in mind. All right, so we're approaching the New Albany area here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off here to the side really quickly just to adjust the map. So let's see where we want to go to next. And we're doing kind of a parallel park here. So let me see. I'm going to end this trip. So we got pretty much placed right in the middle of New Albany, which is exactly where we wanted to go. So let's see. We could probably shoot up to, where do we want to go? We could potentially go to Pickerington or Upper Arlington. Maybe Upper Arlington. Let's cruise over there. And of course, we'll see that blue button pop up here in a second. Actually, I think I have to be in park. So there we go. So there's that blue button. Now that I have a new destination in. Let me just quickly check on the live, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope everybody is having a great evening. Awesome. Looks good. Looks like we're still online. All right, so we got a new destination plugged in, and I think what I'm going to do is press and hold this blue button. I want to see how it acts here. Okay, so good. This is perfect. So it's going to back itself up. For anybody watching, I want you to pay attention here. It's cruising out of this parallel parking spot. So just pay attention with me here for just a second. It backed itself up, waited for this Honda to pass by, and then went on its way, even from a parallel parking spot. To be honest, even for most human drivers, that's quite challenging. But you know what? FSD handles that like a champ. I am waiting for them to release the functionality. I don't think this is on their roadmap. This was just on my wish list, on Barry's wish list, right? But it would be cool to be able to auto park, in a parallel spot. So kind of like you have that ability to, when you get to a parking lot, you can, press and hold on an empty parking spot, and the vehicle will park for you. It's part of FSD's package. Parallel spots don't work for that yet. So it would be kind of neat to have that option. It would be very complex, very complicated, but I think the software can handle it. So we're right in the middle of New Albany here, and we're going to be heading towards Upper Arlington now. And let's see. There's a vehicle pretty close behind me. So yeah, I'm going to raise this max up to 32. It should register this new speed limit zone here. Yeah, there we go. So now we're going 32 and a 35. It progressively picks up speed. This is one of the things that I caught on my speed test. I think it was 2 videos ago, is that it picks up speed rather slowly. So it is what it is. It's one of those things that, it's just how the software kind of reacts. It's fine. But we're going 36 and a 35 now. Top speed should be 40. Yep, it is 40. So now it's perfect. It's not taking up all my max offset because it doesn't need to right now. But it looks like we just switched over to 45. And let's see. Let's all keep an eye on this pedometer. See how long it takes for it to increase speed. This is one of those room for improvements, in my opinion, for FSD. So you can see we're still going 37 now in a 45. We decreased 1 mile per hour, which is not the right move. Now we're going 35. So again, this is an area of improvement as far as I'm concerned, in terms of speed limit zones and how FSD reacts to them. Okay, we're approaching another roundabout. These are always fun for me. I just love watching FSD handle these roundabouts. So pay attention here. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. It's funny, one thing that FSD does that I don't is, and I'm not sure if you guys do the same thing, but it turns its blinker on when you are leaving the exit. It's the right thing to do. Sometimes I forget to do that on roundabouts. It's like 50-50 for me. But see, that's the thing. That's the beauty about software, is that it'll do exactly what you expect it to do. Well, most of the time. And it won't forget most of the time. Right? Software has a much better memory than most humans. And so it'll consistently turn its blinker on, as opposed to myself, I'll forget. So if you guys are just tuning in, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button down below. And let me know where you guys are tuning in from as well. If you guys are just hopping into, the live stream, drop a comment. Let me know watching. And just as a reminder, this is a Model 3 2024 standard range rear-wheel drive. For my next vehicle, I think, oh, there's the Juniper. Nice, that red Juniper. I don't know if you guys just saw that, but that's what I was going to say. That my next point was that I want to upgrade this eventually to a Model Y. Just extra space. and this was a good way to get my feet wet with Tesla, and frankly, as my first ever EV. So, all right, we're approaching another roundabout here. This is a double lane roundabout. So this is kind of a unique roundabout because number one, there's a lot of traffic, and number two, it's a much bigger footprint of a roundabout. But of course, FSD handled that very well. Ooh, that sun is blinding me. I hope the camera's not getting blinded. Let me put this visor down for just a second. I'm sure that the camera is adjusting its white balance appropriately, but my eyeballs don't seem to be adjusting the white balance. This is a camera nerd joke. I'm considering switching it over into hurry mode just for a few minutes. Let me do that real quick. Oops. Sometimes I favor the left scroll wheel, I don't know why. But anybody that might not know, by the way, your right scroll wheel is your control panel for full self-driving. And left, right, or east-west movement will change your profile. So you can go from chill, standard, or hurry by doing in left, right, east, west. And if you go up, down, or north and south, you can change your max speed. So if I go up, you can see this number increasing, and if I go down, you can see it decreasing, and that is my max offset, and I can change that on the fly, and so can you. So keep that in mind. It's a great feature to be able to use on the fly. I'm gonna flip this back up now. If you haven't yet liked the video, it would be really appreciative of me for you to have liked it so that I could expand this video's reach. Get some water here. See, I can pretty much take a sip of water without having to worry about, maintaining control of the vehicle. I've seen a lot of people even eat food, eat a whole meal while FSD is driving them. I haven't tried that yet, but based on my coffee cup where I was holding it in my hand, it flagged me. I think it's going to probably do the same with a whole-on meal, at least I would assume. And I can't help but wonder, with this sun sort of, burning down on my eyes, I can't help but wonder what happens with the cameras. Part of me thinks that maybe there's some sort of like dynamic tint going on, but I doubt it, honestly. I think it's just maybe like any other camera, right? You have your potentially shutter speed, increase, decrease, your ISO, white balance, all those traditional camera settings. Perhaps it just acts as a normal camera and reduces the amount of light that's coming in, or increases depending on the situation. So right now it might be limiting certain settings on the camera so that it's not blinded, right? Because for me, I'm just my eyes alone, I'm pretty blinded here, so I'm assuming that these cameras have some sort of dynamic functionality. If you happen to know how that works, let me know. Let me know down in the comments if you know how that works with the cameras and a glaring sun like we have tonight. And I think I'm going to pull over here in just a second. Maybe I'll pull over here. I want to read some of the comments. Let me do that. I think I can get over safely here. I just want to read some of your comments really quickly. This is a good opportunity. It's a big open parking lot here. Panda Walk. Oh, Buffalo Wild Wings. That sounds good. Let me take my microphone with me. All right, so I'm just in the back seat now looking at some comments, or at least I would like to see the comments. There we go. All right. CS, thank you. Audio is good. Some Brown Guy Canada, Lucid F8 California, Mitch Young, currently FSD, home from work while I watch. Nice. You're watching while driving, Mitch Young. Yep. Captain Krunas, 5 or 10% offset is good for 4 to 6 miles per hour. Rainbow Kills 13. Wonder how much your insurance costs a month. It's about, I think 60 or 80 bucks a month here in the central Ohio area. Mitch, I have a Juniper launch and still get nagged to grab the wheel a lot. That's probably because I wear sunglasses and a hat. Yeah, that hat always gets me too. Captain Kronos, hands not available for takeover. Yep. Works on cars with ultrasonic. CS, you always give the best information. I've answered 2 questions I had. One about the speed and the other about the nag. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, CS. I really appreciate your support. I appreciate your support. Mitch, FSD can do parallel park. I do it all the time. Oh, really? No kidding. I really had no idea that was a thing. So that's cool. Mitch, if you're still on the stream, I would love to know a little bit more information on how that works. That's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. Captain Kronos, have you had any sunlight or rain failures at FSD? I've had sunlight issues for sure. Not as much on recent versions. I think 13.29 has been pretty consistent with sun and how it reacts, which is kind of why I'm thinking like I need a deep dive how these cameras on board the Teslas react to really strong sunlight. There has to be some sort of dynamic functionality that happens. So I'm curious how. And to answer your question though, who was that? Captain Kronos, I have not. Cable Guy, I use FSD 8 hours a day doing Uber. Nice, man. That's awesome, yeah. Uber is one of those things for FSD that's just, I mean, phenomenal. Juniper is definitely worth it. Yeah, man. Sona, I want to try this very bad. Yeah, Sona. I mean, it's really cool technology. Really, really great technology. Thank you so much for your comments, guys. I just wanted to hop in to the back seat real quick to kind of review all the comments and everything. So appreciate the support on the comments and everything. While I'm back here, can you guys do me a quick favor and just let me know if the audio is still good? Somebody just pop in the chat here, type it in. Audio good or audio bad? Captain Kronos, Tesla software actively adjusts camera exposure to handle bright light. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's kind of what I thought, because sometimes, I mean, the sun is just blaring. So I wonder how it does it though. You know, like I guess like maybe like any other camera, right? Adjust the ISO or the aperture or the shutter speed. Audio is good. Oh, cool, awesome. Thanks, man. All right, let me hop back into the front here and carry on. So I just wanted to address all the comments. All right. Appreciate all the support on the comments, guys. It's awesome to kind of read and respond to all of them. So I'm going to re-engage full self-driving here. And speaking of the comment section, if anybody wants to be a moderator, let me know, because clearly I can't moderate the comment section live while doing full self-driving videos. So if you have any motivation or inspiration to be a YouTube comment moderator for me, let me know. I'll review the comments later and then somehow reach out. But it would be very valuable to have a few moderators. So this is going to be an interesting street to cross, because I mean there's a ton of traffic pretty much both ways here. We have a lot of traffic coming up on the right side. Oh man. All right, let's see. Yeah, so I mean, that wasn't terrible. I am in hurry mode, by the way. So I mean, it wasn't terrible. Like it went right in the middle of the road and then waited for that car to slow down and kind of let itself in. I wish the stream had 360 views so you could see exactly what I'm seeing all the time. I could potentially put up the cameras though. Maybe I can do that for now. And we'll see. Sometimes I know a lot of you guys like to see the full self-driving like video, or not the video, but like the screen here on the full screen mode. But the cameras are nice too, so I'll kind of switch back and forth. But that was a nice situation, honestly. That was a really, like, it was assertive, it was safe, and again, I think it did that behavior or that maneuver because I'm in hurry mode. I don't think it would have done that in standard. There would be no reason to, really. Let me switch this back to full screen for now. Another Juniper. That's 2 Junipers and probably a total of like 10 Model Ys at this point. But that's the second Juniper that I had just spotted. I love that gray color. At first, when I saw the Juniper pictures of it before I went to go see it in person, I was on the fence with the body style of it. But then I got reached out by Tesla in Cincinnati to come be one of the first demo drives in the North American market, because I think it hit Asia Pacific first, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, I got the invite, so I went down to Cincinnati, and yeah, they were a cool dealership. They had really great people, and I was one of the first in the North American market to be able to test drive it, which was really cool. And when I saw it in person, I loved it. Honestly, it was. I think the pictures don't really do it justice. Man, that sun is blinding. That sun is blinding. And again, we're still in hurry mode. I gotta clean my windshield off a little bit from the interior. So apologies if it's a little smudgy or if it's a little low on visibility with the sunlight. It kind of, that sunlight really highlights the imperfections on the windshield. So I'll go over that with a microfiber cloth. If you're just tuning in, guys, I appreciate you stopping by on the live stream. This is technically my second FSD stream. My first was a couple of a couple of hours ago. So, and I think I saw a comment that I didn't address on the live stream as well. I'm not using Tesla's data, or LTE. That was actually one thing I tried to do before I had left for this live stream, but I learned that it's not possible, as far as I know, and as far as my research showed. You can't really use Tesla as a hotspot, which is unfortunate because if you pay for premium connectivity like I do, $10 a month, it uses LTE data, so there is a hookup for it already. They just don't freelance that out to the drivers for some reason. Not sure why, but you know, I do pay that $10 a month because I think I get live traffic views and some other basic benefits. But the majority of the reason I'm paying that $10 a month fee for the premium connectivity is for live traffic. So that is unfortunate that they don't allow you to tap into that data as a hotspot, because then it would make live streaming much, much better. But it is what it is. I'll have to get my own hotspot. Don't forget to hit the like button down below, guys. I really appreciate the support. If you can just hit that like, it expands this video to more and more people. And for reference, it's about 7:10 p.m. now Eastern time. And we got, the sun is still decently high up in the sky, so we'll have at least a couple more hours of sunlight. Making a lane change here over to the left side. That's definitely indicative of the hurry profile. It loves to make lane changes because, well, it is in a hurry. And for reference, we are in the Columbus, Ohio suburbs. We're traveling from New Albany to Upper Arlington now, which are two relatively large areas, suburban areas of Columbus. Okay, so this Jeep wants to get over. Let's see what FSD does. Okay, so it didn't really rush or fight for that spot, which is fine. That was a Florida license plate on that Jeep, far away from home. Another thing that I want to call out too for any new FSD users is that you can use the accelerator. So you can always tap on the accelerator right here in the middle of your drive. And the reason you would want to do that potentially is if you're ever in a sticky situation that you want to escape out of, like let's say there's, you know, a car that's too close to you on either side, or you know, you see a vehicle approaching you very, very fast, and you know, for some reason you don't want to disengage FSD entirely, but you want to give it more velocity. You can tap on the accelerator at any point during the drive. It won't disengage it. It won't hurt it. It just picks up the speed. Now, if you tap on the brake, of course, it disarms the entire experience and disengages and shuts down FSD. So then you're in control. Same thing if you know, pull on the wheel or nag on the wheel really hard, it disengages FSD. So, but the pedal of encouragement is what I've heard other people call it as, is an excellent way to, you know, get yourself out of potentially negative situations. And again, you could do it on the fly. So let me know if you're enjoying this live stream, by the way. I would love to hear your comments. If you guys do enjoy this live stream, I'm happy to do this, you know, a few times a week, maybe once a week, depending on the demand and the feedback from you guys. if you're enjoying this type of live stream, I would be happy to continue to do it. And honestly, I mean, this is like the real world, raw scenarios that you're seeing. No edits. If I do have to disengage, you'll see it happen in real time. You know, if I have to correct it, you'll see it in real time. So it's a good way to kind of illustrate the power and the growth of FSD. I still got to figure out what I'm going to do for my 5,000 subscriber mark. That's going to be really awesome. I'm going to hit it either tonight or tomorrow, I think. Because I'm like, I was 30 something away before I started the stream. Maybe I already hit it. I don't know. It'd be funny if I already hit it and I didn't even know. But yeah, I'll have to figure out what kind of either giveaway I want to do, or maybe you know, some recognition. We'll see. We'll see. That's a big milestone. So I just want to, you know, say thank you to all 5,000 of you guys that had decided to hit the subscribe button after listening to me speak nonsense. So let me just quickly check on the, speaking of nonsense, let me check on the stream here. Cool, looks good. That sun is blaring tonight. And it doesn't help that we're driving right into it. Let's see if we're going to be turning or not. Nope, looks like, well, yeah, we will be, but maybe after another mile or so. So we should avoid the sun, at least to a degree. Let's check on the weather real quick. And if you could see, it's nagging me to pay attention to the road because my eyes weren't facing forward. But yeah, the weather still seems about the same. We have a couple bands to the northeast of us, but it looks like it's going to dissipate before even arriving to our location. Let me zoom out a little bit more. Yeah, this Mississippi, you guys are getting dumped on all day. Alabama, you guys are really getting rained on all day today. And this big band is moving into New York. Earlier when I checked, it was basically hitting Toronto. It was hitting Montreal. Now it's hitting New York and Vermont. Love this weather feature. And the easiest way to do that, by the way, for anybody that doesn't know, is, you know, when you're driving, or you can be in a park state, doesn't matter. You could just click on this last button on your taskbar, and it looks like a little cloud, and that will open up the weather radar, the live weather radar, which is pretty sweet. I don't know if you need the live or the premium connectivity package for that $10 a month. I don't know if that comes with it or if it's free. I'm not sure, but regardless, that is how you get there. And if you're just stopping in, or if you've been hanging out this entire time on the stream, I just want to say I appreciate all the support, and I hope you are enjoying this live stream. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. It does help me out tremendously. I'm at an 83% state of charge because I was at a supercharger earlier today doing another live stream, actually, for my channel. And got carried away, and I went up to basically 100% after getting distracted with the live stream. So I looked up, and my battery was charged up to 100. All right, that was nice. That was really nice. Okay, so it's went above the white line a little bit, which is fine. I think it followed suit with this vehicle here, if you could see. But we are past the white line. But it was last second, so the yellow light turned, or the green light turned yellow fairly quick on FSD, but it did a really good job at slowing down. There we go. We got the green. Even in the sun, it's doing great. I mean, one of you guys just asked, how is it in the bright sun? You could see it's doing a phenomenal job. All right, making a left here. Again, we're in hurry mode, so I just wanted to assume this lane with no other cars in it. I don't think it would have done that with standard mode. We got that green again. It's perfect. I mean, even with this bright sun, it's having zero issues. Apologies if the windshield is a bit dirty from the interior. I'm going to take a microfiber to that later. Okay, so we're registering a 42 and a 35, which should be about that 15% offset kick it in, which is great. And I think we're going to be turning, yep, at the next intersection here on to North High Street, which is about 0.4 miles away. We're going to be making a left turn. All right, here's the light. We got the blinker just turned on. And we should get a break finally from this really bright sun. Yeah, I can see down towards the left. It's very, very shadow heavy, so no sun. Yeah, here in a second we're gonna have a lot better viewing experience here for the camera, for the live stream camera, not for FSD, but probably both. I can honestly hardly see the light. It's so bright, but again, it just turned green. FSD is going about its way. It's doing really, really good. Oh man, look at that. Wow. All right, nice and shadowy and dark here. Oof, that was some really bright sun. It's good to get a break from that. I can pull up this visor. This is much better. Hopefully the quality is okay too. I'm streaming on my data, so I hope that the quality is at least 1080. All right, Made a quick lane change over here. Not at this light, but at the next light, we're going to be making a right turn. And slight congestion, I would say mild congestion in terms of traffic here. Okay, so that Camaro just took the side street, probably heading the same way we are, but didn't want to wait at the light. I don't blame him. Nicely done. Nicely done there. Going back into the way of the sun. Drop down the visor. Making a quick lane change over to the left side here. Yeah, quite a big club of cars here on the right. Probably going to be merging onto the highways, what I assume all of these vehicles to the right are about to do. And we are maintaining straight for probably, okay, looks like 0.9 mile, yeah, just about a mile. And slight congestion here, mild traffic at 7:25 p.m. Eastern time here. We're showing 69 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, so, stop and go traffic here as people merge on and off of the highway. And I hope it's translating how reliable and safe FSD is for the most part, right? I mean, I haven't had to disengage at all, really. And we've probably been streaming for maybe about an hour or a little over an hour. And I've had 0 disengagement, so do a quick check on the stream here. Awesome. Looks like 14, 15 of you guys are in here right now. So appreciate you guys hanging out. If you stand by for just a couple more minutes, I'm going to find a spot to park and then review some of the comments that I've been getting over the last 20 or 30 minutes since I last stopped. So if you have any questions or comments, I encourage you to drop them down below. I'll find a spot to pull off here in the next couple of minutes. I'm sure there's going to be no shortage of areas to stop and pull off to read and respond to some comments. And this really does help with reducing driver fatigue. I mean, I'm in my seat, rolled a good ways back, and the seat is declined a good ways back, way more than I would if I was in control of the car. So I'm able to have a really comfortable posture. But most importantly, I'm still able to take control if I need to. So if I see the car doing something crazy, I'm not sleeping, I'm not laying, but I am sitting very comfortably. So that's a big, big benefit. Driver fatigue is slim to none, really, is what I would say. Should have a spot here in a moment or two to pull off. I'm going to read through some comments. So stand by if you're on the stream. Hang tight for a second. All right, so I'm going to disengage here because I want to stay in this lane so that I can pull off into, looks like a White Castle actually, which I've never had a White Castle burger. There's a couple spots, Taco Bell, Buckeye Car Wash. A couple spots for me to pull off into to read some comments. So yeah, in preparation, you know, let me know where you're watching from. I'm gonna pull off here in just a second, but let me know if you're watching from the States or somewhere abroad. I'm always curious where you guys are watching from. My YouTube analytics on my main videos show me exactly where you guys are watching from. So I have people all over the world. Majority, I think, is the United States, but then I've seen lots of Canada, lots of Europe, lots of Australia. And I can't believe I've never had a White Castle. I keep saying that to myself, but I don't take the time to go there. You can see the White Castle here on the right. So I'm just going to pull off here just to have a place to read some of the comments. Somewhere that's not facing the sun would be nice. All right, let's pull up right into here. And just like last time, I'm going to bring my microphone with me. All right. So let's see, guys. Yeah, auto settings, audio is good. Thank you, thank you. 1D Andy 1. Yeah, need to clean the windshield. Sorry about that, man. Yeah, I just realized that it was like super prominent in the sun. So I'm gonna take a microfiber to that for sure. Get that cleaned up. CD. Hey, CD. Thanks for stopping by the live stream. I really appreciate your support, and thank you so much for becoming a member on my channel as well. I really greatly appreciate your support. It really does mean a lot to me. Seattle, very cool, man. Very cool. Seattle is a beautiful area, and I haven't driven with FSD in Seattle, but I have been in Seattle quite a bit, and I think it would be quite an experience to use FSD out there with all the hills and the very exaggerated driving conditions, especially in downtown. So, but yeah, CD, thank you so much for your continuous support. I really appreciate it. 1D Andy, yeah, thanks for that confirmation. So as you can see, guys, this has just been a really, really phenomenal drive. I mean, I haven't had to disengage once, and I've just been cruising and, you know, just enjoying the ride. That's what this is all about, is just enjoying the ride. Can FSD park itself yet? For example, in that White Castle? Absolutely, CD. Yes, it can. If you select a parking spot in a view of available spots, it will basically make all of the adjustments it needs to park in that spot that you select. So it'll get you in that spot exactly 100% of the time, in the middle and the center, and parked properly every time. So yes, to answer your question, it absolutely does. And it's one of my favorite features as well. It's makes, you know, parking much easier. Parallel parking, I'm not sure about. I think somebody in the comments said that it is possible, which is super cool. 1D Andy 1 says, we just returned from a 3-hour FSD drive. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Yeah, that's where this thing shines. That's where this thing shines is on road trips. You know, you can reduce that driver fatigue, kick back, listen to music, podcast, talk to your loved ones. Like, now you can talk to Grok, by the way, which Grok is their AI assistant that's now in the vehicle. So it's part of the software, which I love. Honestly, I love Grok. I've been using it a lot more than I thought I would. It's more of like a form of entertainment. So, 1D Andy, what are you on the Model 3? Why? Sorry, I don't know if you had mentioned that yet, but let me know down in the comments. And for anybody else, I see 13, 14, 15 of you guys are in here. Drop a comment. Let me know if you have a Tesla, and if you do, which model? What are you guys rocking? The Juniper. Okay, 1D Andy's rocking the Juniper. That's awesome. I love the Juniper. I think I'm going to upgrade my Model 3 to the Juniper once my lease is up. Since this is a leased car, probably going to go straight for the Juniper. So, thanks for bearing with me here, guys. I'm just scrolling through the comments and making sure that I addressed all of them. There are a few in here, so I just want to make sure I address and respond to as many as I can. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this live stream? Is the quality good? I want to make sure that the quality is decent. As far as the video. Audio, I think, should be pretty good. I'm using an external microphone. But the video stream really depends on the data connection that I have. So if you guys do like this type of live stream, what I think I'll do is perhaps invest in a third-party hotspot, which would provide much better speeds and I think a much better streaming experience. So that might be something I'll look into if this proves to be a sought-out experience or stream. So let me see here. Can I minimize this, or will that cut things off? Bear with me for just a second. I'm sure you guys can hear the sirens in the back. Audio's Saul Goodman. Nice. Thanks, bro. Appreciate the confirmation. I'm going to minimize this screen. I hope I don't lose you guys, so stand by. Give me 1 second. I hope it doesn't cut the stream. But 1 second. Okay. I think... Looks like I'm back, so I just wanted to see something here. 1 moment. Okay. Cool. Perfect. Yep, I'm back. I'm just checking on the configuration settings to make sure that I have the most optimal speeds, which it seems like I do. Awesome. All right, let me let me get back into. Let me see how much battery I have. So I'm still showing good battery and good connection. So I'm gonna hop back up front. So stand by, and we'll continue the drive here as we approach sunset hour. All right. Let me pull up the map here. let's see. I'm just taking a look and seeing where we could head, which direction makes the most sense. Um, let's go over to, one second. I think I was looking at the, yeah, we can go over to, let's say Lewis Center. I think that's fair. Let's do that. Let's go over to the Lewis Center area. Press that. Flip up the visor now. I think the viewing experience for you guys is going to be much better now. All right. Just going to help FSD out and get out of this lot. We got a nice Bronco here. I think it was off camera, actually. All right, perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and re-engage full self-driving from here. And we are back to being a passenger, guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out on this Thursday evening. Another Florida plate. And what kind of vehicle is this? GMC. Is this a Hummer? A new Hummer? I don't know what that is. Hopefully the lack of the sun is a little bit better. A couple Florida plates today. I think that's either the second or the third Florida plate that I've seen, so. And I think what I'll do is, let's do on the highway. Let's do it, how much time we could save. Okay, not much actually. So we could keep that on. It's only going to add on about 4 minutes. So yeah, not a big deal. And I'm going to switch us back to standard mode in just a second here, once it calibrates. Because we're still in a hurry. So this lane is ending, and FSD is doing a great job at moving over well in advance, so it doesn't have to fight for this lane later down the road. So I'm going to switch this back to standard. We're going 40 and a 35, reaching our max offset of 15%. Got a quick pull off here. And look at that, FSD is doing a phenomenal job. That was kind of a unique split in the road. Beer Zone. Well, that's cool. I don't know what that place is, but that sounds interesting. We'll have to check out Beer Zone one day. But honestly, this is kind of like what I love about the software is you can really take in all of the scenery and the retail and the restaurants and the stores, maybe, you know, that otherwise you would miss if you weren't paying attention. I'm just going to defog this windshield a little bit. Seems like it's getting a little bit fogged up. All right, so we made that 0 mile per hour stop on right on red, and now we went through. Very nicely done as usual there. Micro Center. If you're from the Central Ohio area, you'll know where I'm at here in the city just by identifying that Micro Center. As a camera nerd, I frequent that place a lot. All right, so we had that yellow arrow. Now it's just a yield to green. And I want to point something out here. FSD is doing the right, it's making the right choice in terms of waiting behind the white line until traffic clears. I myself don't like sitting in the middle of the intersection. So you see now it's cleared, now it went. Instead of sitting in the middle of the intersection. When I drive manually, I also try not to sit in the middle of the intersection if I'm doing a yielding turn. And by yielding turn, I just mean a turn without an actual arrow. So you have to wait for oncoming traffic to pass by. So now we're in a beautiful back road. We'll see probably some nice properties here on the left and the right as well. And as you guys are joining in and you're hopping into the live stream to hang out, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this type of content. I'm on my way to 5,000 subscribers. Should be happening either today or tomorrow, so appreciate all of you guys for subscribing. It is really a magnificent journey that this channel has kind of brought me to, especially with collaborating with all of you guys, all 5,000 of you guys, almost. Some of these homes here in the Columbus suburbs are just a work of art. Just beautiful. Big, huge properties, lots of land, just iconic, iconic country homes. It's really beautiful. I haven't been to this part of the city, but it looks over to the left, very hilly. Like most of the homes here are on a pretty intense incline, and the roads are pretty much hidden behind these trees. Most of them are looking mostly like private driveways and private residence, and then that's a neighborhood. They're very cool. And we're right beside the highway here on the right side, as you can tell. Yeah, very hilly area, very hilly part of the city. Not as much as CD in Seattle. I think my friend CD in Seattle has it much hillier than we do here in Ohio. All right, we got a right on red. So we'll get that 0, and now we should creep up. Oh, okay, that was awesome. I didn't have to intervene though. I hope you guys saw that. Um, there was a pretty severe blind spot for that oncoming traffic. FSD tried to go, recognize that car, tried to go a little bit, if you noticed, even after identifying that car, but then ultimately slammed on the brake. It actually slammed on the brake so much so that I actually heard the hardware inside of the car, the actual pedal, make a noise, indicative of, kind of slamming on the brake, right, as you would with your foot. It's exactly what happened there. So that was excellent. That was excellent. I had my leg right over that brake, though. Like, I had my foot right over that brake. I was a millisecond away from tapping on it because it looked like it wanted to go. But ultimately, it stopped itself. And it stopped itself pretty abruptly. Like, I hope the camera picked all that up. But, yeah, that was a good decision. Good reaction time and good decision. Lane just split into 2 here, and it's taken the far left lane. And I will be pulling off here in just a second to some more comments. I'm going to take over control here, and I'm going to pull into this lot right up here on the left to get caught up on the comments and just make sure that everything's good with the stream as well. Sometimes it's fun to just drive too, though, I love driving, and so, sometimes just taking over and driving instead of using FSD is also very fun. Especially a car like this is just fun to drive. All right, I'm going to bring my microphone back and get caught up to the comments here. If you have any comments or thoughts, definitely drop them in the stream here. Just make my way to the back so I can view everything. All right. So let's see. CD says, like the live stream. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it, man. It's been fun to watch the channel grow. Just gifted 5 subscriptions. Yeah, thanks, man. It's really been awesome to see the channel grow as well. Even for me, I mean, I was, my plan was to hit 5,000 subscribers by 2025 or by 2026. So sometime in December. But all you guys have been really supportive. So it's been awesome. Captain Chrono says, drive to a hotel and watch the drop-off location. Yeah, that's, a lot of times it'll just drop me off in front of the retail or in front of like like the destination, whether it's a restaurant or a storefront or hotel. I wonder, Captain Kronos, if you mean that like, hotels are more successful in parking. Maybe that's what you mean. CD says we don't have hills in Seattle, we have mountains. Yeah, you certainly have just full on mountains, especially in downtown Seattle. Yeah, that is for sure. Captain Kronos, FSD stops for cats, dogs, owls, possums, and deer so far. Country life, yeah. Yeah. I haven't had any encounters with any of those actually. I mean, I've had roadkill, but the roadkill doesn't seem to be very successful for me. A lot of times, I'll have to like disengage at the last second just to make sure that you know it doesn't drive over the roadkill and make a mess. So, pulls up in drop off lane at the door. Oh, okay, dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'll have to try that. Yeah, I'll have to pick a hotel as a destination endpoint and kind of see what happens. Cool, guys. Well, I'm gonna probably call it here. We've been on for about 97 minutes, so just over an hour and a half, and it was fun. I hope the audio was good and the video is good. I'll make this public as well for anybody that wants to either share this out or review moments from today's live stream. Feel free to go back and review it. But then I'm gonna call it here about an hour and a half in, so it was fun. If the comments suggest to do it again, I absolutely will. And I hope everybody has a great rest of the Thursday evening and a good Friday as well. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye.